This Browns team has been cursed to kind of just stick around that 500 mark so far this year, unable to really go on any sort of winning streak. The offense, I think, is the biggest reason for that. We've certainly seen some improved play from quarterback Donald Richardson, who has increased his touchdown to turnover ratio in a really big way. The defense is still very good, but some problems in the running game, as well as sometimes volume in the passing game. And I've never really been shy this season about talking about my frustration with the lack of Matt Driver involvement. But as we go for the playoff push here in this episode, we are currently not in it at 6-6. And so this team needs to find a way to win some games. Sitting at that number 6 seed is our first matchup here today, the division rival Steelers, who we will face in Thursday Night Football. And the best way to get over the curse of 500 is, of course, to get over 500 here in the first place. Not going to be an easy task here on the road. The Steelers are having their first good year here of the franchise series. They got some stability at quarterback with the veteran Baker Mayfield rather than going that route with the number 1 overall pick. They instead added a stud pass rusher. We'll have to see if he comes into play at all today. But Baker Mayfield and the Steelers on the docket here. Another primetime game for Cleveland. First time we're going to hop in here will be on the offensive side of the football. The defense got a quick 3 and out to start this game, and now the offense is driving. Adonai Mitchell will pick up near the first down there. It looks like a first down to me based on these lines. Davidson will pick up the first down and more on his first totes of the evening. Really need to find a way to get this run game going. Neither of our running backs are over 4 yards a carry. It is tough in Madden to get running backs to produce who are not high overall, and that could be a discussion point come the off season, is how do we get this run game going? Because it almost at this point feels like the rest of the team is starting to be ready, with Richardson improving his play and the defense being so good. But it's also, a veteran defense. Some of our best players are at the point where they're starting to regress. That could be adding a star running back. That could just be adding a star lineman. But I think there's some pressure to add someone that's not a rookie, some sort of veteran. But getting way ahead of ourselves here. We're still got plenty of time to go in this season and in this game as well. But we've got a nice drive going. But we're in danger of having it come to a close here on 3rd and 4 from the 11. Richardson from a clean pocket. He has an interception trying to find Jerry Jeudy. But Patrick Queen undercuts it and gets the turnover for the Steelers defense. Luckily for us, the defense continues to play well here in the first quarter. And the offense has it with another strong drive going. 9.5 there on the pickup on first down towards Jerry Jeudy. Worth noting that Matt Driver does have a couple of key 3rd down receptions so far in this game. 2nd and inches. It is out to McFerrin. Nice job avoiding the negative play there by Richardson. Not sure if we'll see another play run here in the first quarter. We will not get the snap off. So the score will remain 0-0. The Browns defense playing well, and the Steelers defense getting a turnover. RPO. We've got David Njoku in the flat, and he gets a nice block to spring him for 9.5. That puts Richardson over 100 yards already today. So the passing game has looked good outside of one play. And that is going to be blown up by Lucas on this Steelers defensive front. He shot through the line of scrimmage there. Looked like some sort of read option, and before Richardson could even make the read, he was going down. On 3rd and 5, Jerry Jeudy hauls it in. Moving the sticks. Now the Browns bring out 3 tight ends from the 14. They'll give it to McFerrin. He gets stopped up right at the line. They'll even call it a loss of 1. As you can see, the running game has not been very good today. McFerrin not even averaging a yard a carry right now. This is, of course, a good Steelers defense, but we get the better of them here on this pass to Mike McDougald. Touchdown, the first points on the day. That's certainly a good matchup in coverage if you can get Hightower. The offense coming off a touchdown drive have a chance to extend the lead now. They'll start the drive at the 35-yard line. Richardson back to pass, trying to evade left, but he had all the space on the right side. If you're going to extend the play, go to your right there. Screen setting up here on 2nd and 20. Davidson able to get all the sack yardage back, plus a couple more. Puts us back into field goal range here. Just cannot take a sack. I would obviously love to keep the drive going as well. Richardson has Jeudy. Patrick Queen on the tackle, and Richardson continues to sling it around the field here on a very talented Steelers defense. McFerrin on the handoff has his best run of the day, surging forward for 8. Tight formation here for Cleveland. It'll be pass. Richardson back to McDougald here. He breaks off the initial tackle and makes it 1st and goal from the 5. Davidson in the backfield. Pass again. It is Njoku. And once again, we find these edge rushers for the Browns in coverage, and we take advantage of it that time. TJ Watt guarding Njoku. That's going to be an easy pitch and catch. Pair of tight end touchdowns here on Thursday Night Football. We're under 3 minutes left in the half when we take our first look at the defense here. Mayfield on play action, taking a deep shot downfield, and gonna be incomplete towards Trey Harris. Another better reception so far here in the franchise. Brian Branch, the closest man in coverage for the Browns. They give to Harris. He's breaking off tackles and picking up the first. Looked like we might have initially had it stopped up well, but Najee Harris with his best run of the game. 2-minute warning approaching. Mayfield has a man open. Trey Harris moves the sticks. Back-to-back first down conversions for Pittsburgh. Has them now really threatening to score for the first time in this game. You saw there briefly Mike Tomlin, no longer the coach here of the Steelers, after a rough couple of years to start the franchise out. Mayfield towards the flat has George Pickens free. Out of bounds, so it'll stop the clock at 1:56. Steelers back to pass again, going for the end zone, and Greg Newsome, the other guy in this series, who always seems to find himself some interceptions, played that ball perfectly. Hasn't been quite as much of an interception machine this season, but he adds to his total there. He ran that route for George Pickens. Browns trying to manufacture some points here. 38 seconds and a timeout remaining. It's over the middle to Njoku. They'll use their final timeout. We'll see if Madden can manage to not screw this up. Not sure how much faith I have in them. Judy is tackled in bounds. At this point, you should bring the field goal unit out just because of the runoff. We'll go play action. Richardson has a man on the sidelines, and with 8 seconds remaining, we should be able to get some points. The offense is going to go for one more play. This has to be end zone or incomplete. Richardson going for the end zone, has A.D. Mitchell for the touchdown. He was very open on that play. Not sure what happened to the Steelers defense, but excellent play design on the play call. 21-0 heading into half. And to make things even better, David Njoku gets his second touchdown of the night on a 43-yard reception. It is 28-0 here to start this third quarter, and I think we can start to go a little bit more quickly through this game. Obviously, a big-time performance against a heated division rival here. Would not be a shutout, but 28-7 on the road against the Steelers. Our first time playing them with their new quarterback situation, their new head coach. And Richardson was slinging the ball around the yard all game long. He had one crucial red zone interception that made this game even a little bit closer, I think. But for the most part, a brilliant performance on both sides of the ball. It'll end up being 30 for 33 for 343 yards for Donald Richardson in this game. Good night. 4 touchdowns to the 1 interception. He did all of this with the ground game just being really not good at all. Receiving wise, we had 7 for 84 for Mitchell, 7 for 70 for Driver, 7 for 93, and 2 scores for Njoku. Everybody eats when you throw for 340 yards. No sacks in this game, surprisingly enough. And our 2 interception magnets of the series, each getting 1 in this game. We pick up a very nice victory over the 8-win Seahawks here in Week 15. Richardson, only 190 yards on the day, but 3 touchdowns to 1 pick. This is where Brock Purdy is here in this series. McFerrin actually had a pretty solid game, over 4 yards a carry. It's not something he pulls off on a regular basis. And Richardson had a 4th touchdown on the ground. So back-to-back 4 total touchdown and 1 interception games. Matt Driver led us in receiving, so he's starting to heat up a bit. 70 yards last game, 63 this. Certainly both over his averages for the year. 2 sacks for Mike Hall, 1 for Myles Garrett, and 1 for Gibson in this game. We got a forced fumble out of Gibson as well. In other news, our coach win percentage has officially gotten high enough for Kalen Bullock to be interested in a re-sign at 46%. So another key factor in us staying above that curse of 500 is that it's going to make it easier for us to sign some contracts here. We're going to go with 3 years for $7.5 million a year. See if Bullock will bite. And he will earn superstar development this year. And we're glad to have him back. So we have just a few starters here remaining for re-sign opportunities. Wyatt Teller's over here for some reason, but JOK, Jerry Jeudy, and Adonai Mitchell. I forget, is Adonai Mitchell waiting for... Okay, so he just is never going to, I guess, get any bigger because you can't have... I don't know what to do with highest offer for financials because it's always going to be yellow. So he technically does not count as somebody that's eligible for a re-sign for us. We can re-sign Jerry Jeudy. I don't want to lose them both, and there's just no chance for AD Mitchell to get up to orange because we can't change how big of a market Cleveland is, unfortunately. I would love to do that for the purposes of this rebuild. Still have 83 million left. Probably 3 players to use it on. I am considering waiting to see... I'm not considering, I'm doing it. I'm waiting to see what Wyatt Teller's regression will be at 33. I know offensive linemen are one of the slowest regressing positions, but I just want to see because 33 is no joke. I think we can come to the table for Jerry Jeudy. He's asking for fairly reasonable here, $18 million a year. I don't want to have to place for two receivers. And it looks like we're losing Mitchell. So we're not going to lose Jerry Jeudy in addition to Mitchell. But we will have one receiver to replace here in the offseason. I think we have a couple of interesting in-house options, but it certainly puts receiver on the list of potential draft needs for the offseason. It has been truly insane how many primetime games we've had so far this year, but we have another one. Sunday nights against the Bengals. One of our curses this season, maybe the curse of 500, always sticking around that mark. Although we are on a 2-game winning streak right now, but our curse for the rebuild has been the Cincinnati Bengals. They are 11-3. We are 8-6. This game certainly could have been one that was flexed to Sunday Night Football. I would not be surprised if that is the case because it's a really good matchup. Last time came down to some clock management issues in the end, but Cleveland tries to break the curse here tonight. Cleveland finding some explosive gains in the pass game to kick this one off, and now they're looking to hopefully a nice pickup here on the ground. Richardson will gain 5 here on the keeper. 2nd and 5 here from the Cincinnati 30. Play action. It is over the middle. AD Mitchell hauls it in and gets it down to the 9-yard line. Another big pickup on the opening drive. It's been chunks of 10 plus kind of all the way down the field here, and Matt Driver to the 1, just unable to add another touchdown onto the list here. He has been our leading receiver in terms of touchdowns on the season, picked up 2 last week. Davidson on the give, gets folded backwards right at the 1 again. This time we bring in the power back, probably a good decision here. He gets it, and he gets in cleanly to the end zone, capping off what was a very efficient opening drive of this game. Burrow found T. Higgins for a gain of 21, and that put them right across the 50-yard line here. Cincinnati in their all-white unis. 2nd and 2 upcoming. Burrow all by his lonesome. Jamar Chase looks to join him in the backfield. Screenplay. It is stopped right at the line of scrimmage by JOK. Jonathan Brooks on the reception, but A great play by our superstar X-Factor linebacker who is now in the zone. Browns crowding the line of scrimmage here on third down. The give is to Brooks, and he's got the first down. Didn't get much, but got what he needed. Now under 6 minutes here in the first. Burrow to the flats, and the hit by Greg Newsome draws it loose. Higgins may be looking for a flag or something there, but I don't know what he wants called. He just got rocked. And a juke move on Jonathan Brooks. My question is, why is it showing Myles Garrett as a superstar right now rather than an X Factor? That makes no sense. Burrow has got Higgins over the middle, diving reception to the 21. Am I just noticing this? Has this been something that's been happening the whole time, or is it some sort of glitch here? Incomplete over the middle. JOK on the PBU. I think he's been an X Factor in the series. There's no way I would have just barely noticed it now after all this time. Something I'll have to look into after this game. But Cincinnati has 3rd and 7. Blitz coming. It is incomplete. Brian Branch gets a hand in there to break up the pass intended for Mike Gesicki. And we force the Bengals to 3 points here on their opening drive. The kick is up and good. The Browns are driving once more as the first quarter is coming to a close, and Mitchell makes a tough grab over the middle. Second game in a row that Richardson has topped 100 passing yards in the first quarter. At least spotlight game in a row. And that pitch is blown up by Trey Hendrickson, and that's how we're going to end the first quarter here. It might be a guy that you want to block in the future. We'll open up the second quarter here with a 3rd and 7. Richardson has time, has a man, it's Mitchell for the touchdown. A.T. Mitchell extends Cleveland's lead here. A perfect throw by Richardson. 2 Bengals defenders trailing him, but he just outruns everybody to the end zone. Back-to-back explosive gains through the air. The last one to Morgan Quick. Have the Bengals to the 25-yard line already. They'll go to Brooks in the flat again. Similar play to one they ran in the first quarter. Not much better on the result this time. Just a pickup of 1. Play action, and Owe will track down Joe Burrow. Not fooled at all by the play action, and we get a big-time sack. Third and 16, Bengals still in scoring range, but they don't want to take another sack here, and they're going to get more than that. Quick on the reception. Why are we so bad at stopping teams on 3rd and 15? It should be so easy. I swear we give up 3rd and 15 more than we give up 3rd and 5. Garrett, he's going to take Joe Burrow down again. Back-to-back games with sacks for Garrett, which should seem like the norm, but he's had a down year production-wise that we talked about earlier on in the season. But glad he's starting to heat up because we need him on his A game come playoff time should we make it. Floating and intercepted again by Greg Newsome. Another red zone pick for number 0, who has just been such an awesome player for us all rebuild long. From the 45, Richardson back to pass. He's going for it all to Matt Driver down the field. Broken up by Geno Stone. But I like the thinking there. This is around that part of the field where you take those kind of shots. All out blitz by Cincinnati. Richardson gets the ball out, but it's still a loss of 1. Oh, and that was a lot of defenders coming. 3rd and 11. Another blitz sense, and Richardson gets it out quick again. Short of the sticks, so we'll be forced to punt here with 3:30 remaining in the half. Cincinnati over the 50-yard line here as we jump to the second half. Gesicki, he's trucking defenders as he picks up 9. Physical play there by the tight end. Now, long-time Bengal at this point. Brooks on the carry. He is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. That is Matt Milano, who's filled in for the injured Ben Folds here. We should be getting Ben back any week now. 3rd and 1. They go to Jonathan Brooks. Oh, no, that's Keaton Mitchell, excuse me. On the slant route to keep the drive alive. And an excellent blitz pickup, but it's going to be intercepted anyway. What a job by Keaton Mitchell on that blitz pickup. Denzel Ward, though, in blanket coverage. This guy does not even get targeted all that often. He's that sound of a defender. He gets a target here as JOK was right in the face of Burrow. And again, our DB just running the route of the receiver. So they seem to do so often in man coverage. We got some elite corners on the boundaries for us, and it makes our defense so good. After a 15-yard reception by Njoku on 4th down, the Browns are in scoring range here, and Richardson finds his Driver. Probably been Matt Driver's most productive episode of the rebuild so far. Picks up 5 on that reception. Play action. Richardson goes to the flat there, but Njoku just wasn't even looking for the ball. Wouldn't have been too much of a gain anyway, so it's 3rd and 5. Richardson has Jerry Jeudy on the inbreaker. 262 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks for Richardson today, who's been another Browns player, maybe had his best episode of the rebuild so far in this game. Started to heat up last episode, and he's kind of continued that hot streak here. And if we can find 8 yards here, we'll take a commanding lead here as we head into the 4th. That play gets it down to the 1. 3rd and goal at the 1. We'll see if we even snap this ball here. A lot of Bengals there across the line of scrimmage. We like the look. We'll give it to Davidson, and Davidson scores. 21-3. This episode, we're breaking the curse of 500, and right now it looks like we might be breaking the curse of the Bengals as well. The Browns are now searching for the dagger. Already a 3-score lead, but a touchdown would make it pretty much impossible for a comeback, or even if we could just continue to drain a lot of the clock. Play action. Njoku picks up 5. McFerrin in the backfield here for a 3rd and short situation. The run game hasn't been great, but you trust them to pick up the short gains. Instead, we go to Richardson, and it's out at the 1. What is Mitchell doing? He had a touchdown, easy. He got a great block from Matt Driver. Maybe didn't expect that block to be so great. We've got it 1st and goal from the 1. Browns using a spread out formation, and they'll give it to Richardson, but the Bengals get through the line of scrimmage, and Mitchell shaking up on the play. So that'll bring out Meredith as wide receiver 3. Back to Davidson. He gets back to the 1. And we've stuck with these 3 receiver formations here inside the 5. It's kept Davidson out there at the running back spot, and ultimately it's going to make his rushing efficiency look a lot worse. 3 carries for a total of -4 yards here. I don't know why we run. If we're planning on running the ball 3 straight times, how are none of them to Ernie McFerrin, our power back? Cincinnati not ready to give up yet, but we're under 3 minutes, so time is a major factor for them. Haven't scored a touchdown yet, though, so they're at least looking to maybe put one of those on the board before the game comes to a close. Looks like we're going to challenge that catch here. I guess the downside isn't all that much, as it's doubtful Cleveland will need its timeouts here in the final 2:44. Burrow over the middle, completes to Higgins, who's been their best receiver today. It's kind of funny. We haven't been burned by Jamar Chase all that much in all these Bengals games. It's been Morgan Quick and T. Higgins who have really been the guys producing. I don't know. I just accidentally pressed B there. But I think that goes to show how good Denzel Ward is. He is often the man matched up against Jamar Chase. Following the 2-minute warning here, Burrow. He's forced off his spot, and he'll get a completion, but nothing really to gain there. Burrow again. Floating one. This time he has his man, Gesicki, for the touchdown. Cincinnati will indeed not be shut out of the end zone in this game, but with only 90 seconds remaining, still 2 touchdowns that they need. This is going to come down to an onside kick here. Popped up and hauled in by Jerry Jeudy on the hands team. He gets tackled down at the 48-yard line. And that should pretty much wrap this game up. The Browns will get the 1 first down they needed and will win a game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Finally. The Bengals have been so good this season, which makes the victory even sweeter. But we came into the episode needed to get a win streak going. Started at 6-6. We are now 9-6 with 2 games remaining on the schedule. Playoffs certainly in our sights here in Season 3 with how well we're playing on both sides of the ball right now. Let's go ahead and look at the stats here. Not quite the touchdown volume we've seen from Richardson in recent weeks, but over 300 yards. This time, no interceptions. Rush game, once again, not really our friend. We had Richardson lead us in rushing as well in this game. 8 for 68 for Njoku. We had 112 yards and a touchdown from Mitchell, who did get injured. 5 for 52 for Matt Shriver. 2 sacks for both Myles Garrett and Daniel Gibson in this game. Garrett certainly started to heat up for the Browns defense at the right time. The win streak continues with an overtime victory over the Steelers. We outgained them by a lot, but that's, if you watch a lot of Steelers games, that's how it goes. And, Richardson with a rough game here. That's going to make his end of season stats look a lot worse. It only takes like 1 4 interception game like this. All of a sudden, your interceptions are going to look really, really bad, of course. But despite 4 picks, we won this game, and I'm looking at the wrong team here. A.D. Mitchell, luckily his injury wasn't anything serious. Back-to-back 100-plus yard games. Man. Of course he has to produce like this when he is set to no longer be on the squad after this year. 2 sacks on the day for Gibson, 1 for Owe, and an interception for Denzel Ward in back-to-back weeks for us. That's our 10th win on the season and our 4th consecutive victory. That 10th victory also guarantees us a playoff spot here. As you can see, the X next to our name at 10-6. Our week 18 game, though, is still not completely irrelevant because we play face-off against the Chargers. And this game could impact seeding here. So, while playoffs are not on the line, which seed we get in them is here for week 18. Now, for this game, it's going to be a little bit different than some of the ones that we watch this way. I'm not planning on entering this game unless it is close in, say, the final maybe 5 minutes or so. Then we'll hop in and watch the rest rather than kind of jump in throughout this game because there are some stakes involved, but not enough, I think, to spend a ton of time on this game. So I'll either see you at the end or I'll see you when there's 5 minutes left and the game's still on the line. We jump in now. The Chargers are trailing 24-13 with the ball here. They need to score on this possession to keep their hopes of winning this game alive. Browns, of course. Again, I don't think this points allowed is actually accurate. I believe we're ranked higher than 13th on the season. In fact, I'm pretty sure we're top 5, but I haven't checked throughout this episode. But we're on a win streak, so I imagine it hasn't gotten much worse for us. Browns trying to be winners of 5 straight heading into the playoffs. That makes you feel pretty confident, despite the fact that we'll be on the road again. Because as good as this streak is, this division has been crazy. We have picked off Justin Herbert 2 times in this game. He has not thrown a touchdown pass, so the defense doing its job again. And they just need one more big stop here. And Herbert nearly takes a sack trying to set up a screen. Instead, dirts it for 2nd and 10. Browns showing man coverage. And it's hauled in for a pickup of 6 here ahead of 3rd down. We are under 3 minutes. Herbert. He's going to get hit as he released Emerson. Dope for the PBU. I wonder if he could have maybe tried for the INT there. That would have pretty much sealed this game. The Chargers will try to make this a 1-score game here with a long field goal, and it is up and in. We've got a 1-score game. Under 3 minutes. Let's see how this one plays out. If the offense can come up with enough of a drive here to send us to our 5th straight victory. Read option. Richardson on the keeper. He is stopped up after gaining 6. Slow to get up there. Looks like he wasn't a fan of that hit he took. Nice job draining down the play clock here ahead of this 1st down. McFerrin just gets enough. And now the 2-minute warning is passed. The Chargers, though, still have all 3 timeouts. We need at least one more 1st down. Davidson just picks up 1 there. Second down, 9 yards to gain. McFerrin, he is gonna pick up 2 of them. So what do you do on third down? Do you force the Chargers to use their final timeouts? Or do you try to pick up the first down? We will force them to use timeout number 3. McFerrin actually did a nice job of taking a minute there to get on the ground. Probably only added a second or 2 onto the play, but still good work nonetheless. Plenty of time for a quarterback the caliber of Justin Herbert. But you have to trust this defense. They've been so consistently good for us these last 2 seasons. Have to trust that they'll come up big again. Herbert is going deep down the left side, and it is broken up. Excellent sticky coverage there. I forgot to look into the fact that Myles Garrett is only showing Superstar. As you can see, he's still showing that here right now. We will make sure it's fixed prior to the playoffs for sure. I will, more specifically. Herbert picked off by Denzel Ward. That's the ball game. And he's going to crib this play. Now it's Denzel Ward racking up the interceptions here late in the season. Sacks and interceptions. That's the goal we made for this defense at the start of the year, to be a big time playmaking defense, and they have been that for us. The Browns will pick up their 11th win on the season. And we are playing better than ever as we head into the postseason. I think even though we'll be a wild card, non-division winning team, there's a chance this team could make some serious noise based on what I'm seeing from them right now. But of course, the AFC is always going to be a gauntlet. How many good quarterbacks are in this conference? Chargers almost got a garbage time touchdown here, but would not happen. 31-16 in week 18, 5-0 on the episode. We had the curse of 500. We broke that well out of the water. We had the curse of the Bengals. We had an excellent game against them. And it's hard to feel much better about this team. I mean, Richardson did throw 6 interceptions over the final 2 games of the year. So when we look at his season-long stats, just remember that. Because the totals probably aren't going to look very good. But we know that he was kind of turning things on until these last couple of games. Sacks-wise, we got 1 for Garrett, 1 for Mike Hall. 3 picks from our 3 starting corners. And a really nice way to end the season. Let's upgrade some players here. All this winning has us with a solid amount of upgrades, including 2 here for Daniel Gibson. I wonder if this is because of some sort of goal. Now, it looks like he got 4,000 this week. And it's because he earned a Pro Bowl appearance. You'll love to see it. What is his motivation? No income tax. Wait. Was that it initially? I can't remember. That was it initially. So he's going to be a player that isn't going to want to return to Cleveland. We're starting to get to the part of the series where that's going to be relevant here in the near future. Now he's up to 87 overall, which means we can sign him regardless of his interest now. But you only have so much cap space, and guys who don't want to be here make things more difficult because of course you have to overpay them to retain them. You get +2 to throw accuracy deep. That's what I've been basically begging to get for Donald Richardson here. We get it. We'll go improviser again, and we get another throw accuracy deep. So +3 throw accuracy deep and another acceleration as well. We'll take that up to an 86 with some boosts. Lance Lynn. I'm gonna guess he also made the Pro Bowl. If we look at it here, no, he got a milestone goal for getting 4,000 passing yards. This will get him to 85 overall, which will increase his number of superstar ability slots, which you'll love to see. He now has pass protector, and he's almost now a top 10 left tackle in the league. He's done a nice job developing. I think we've got him to the point now where I'm going to start trying to increase those run blocking ratings a little bit, because his pass blocking is looking really, really nice. Kalen Bullock here. He has 2 upgrades. I think we'll maybe go 1 zone, 1 hybrid. Seems like a good. Yeah, here gets +2 to zone, +2 catching. Love to see it. And we'll go with zone here. And he gets no coverage at all, but up to an 83 overall. Still just 24 years old. Able to sign him to a multi-year extension. Denzel Ward was really good here in this episode. Interception machine. He gets nothing to coverage there, but his coverage is already really good, so that's fine. Still the number 6 ranked corner. He is at the start of it, at the point of his career where regression will start to kick in, though. I'm going to try to keep scheme fit format driver. We're almost to the part of the coaching tree where I can get the ability where scheme fit doesn't affect XP. Once I get there, I might start to deviate from deep threat a bit on him. My call, trying to get him to scheme fit. I've been trying forever. No, unable to do so. I've also been going into run stopper to try to get strength. We've gotten +1 on the series, but run stopper is honestly almost as good at upgrading speed rusher as I think speed rusher would be, ironically enough. McFerrin here. Gonna continue his role as our downhill power back. Get some stiff arm and some trucking. Trying to get his overall up. Emerson, he is our slot corner, so it makes sense. We also get him up to scheme fit with this slot upgrade. +3 man is really nice. Now he's really well balanced between man and zone coverage. Stevenson, I want to make sure we keep scheme fit here, and so we will. Getting some nice upgrades. Mitchell. I think with how big he is, we can go with a physical upgrade here. That makes sense for him. Some really nice upgrades there. Can't complain about that one. Anthony Davidson. I almost want to go power back here in hopes that it'll increase his carrying. That's one of the things that worries about him the most. I don't want him to have a big fumble in a spot here in the playoffs that gets him into the 80s, which is not nothing. Still not high enough to be super confident in it, but we'll take what we can get. Sheldon Edens here. Got some increased playing time with the Ben Folds injury. Of course, still our base middle linebacker, Jeff Beverly. Super unfortunate we only got normal dev with him. Don't know what to do about it. If we should keep right tackle is something that I heavily consider an upgrade on, but I don't want to give up on our first pick from last draft based solely on normal dev. But for offensive line, it's just so hard not to give up on somebody with normal dev. But especially with the roster, the caliber that we have, where our holes are getting less and less. We do, it's not like we don't have any holes for the upcoming offseason. We certainly do. So let's go ahead and see who we're facing off in the playoffs. And just like last year, we will be kicking off the playoffs on the road at Arrowhead. Beat the Chiefs last year in the playoffs. They came back, beat us this season in the regular season. And now I guess it's time to see who wins best 2 out of 3. That'll be in the next episode. I think we'll go over the season stats whenever our season ends. And hopefully it's not going to be after a one and done versus the Chiefs. Playoffs will be starting soon. I'll see you then. Go Browns.